Hi Ultimate Gardeners, welcome back to the Ultimate Gardening channel. My name is Emmanuel Arce, well known as the Ultimate Gardener. I'm a young horticulturist and I've been doing this for about 7.5 years now, and I love everything about it. So in today's exciting sprouting video, I decided it was going to be an interesting topic to talk about all things beans. I know beans is one of the most underrated vegetables to grow in your garden, but they shouldn't be because they are easy to grow, low maintenance, and you get harvest within days. So in this video, I'm gonna be covering how I planted them, how I care for them, and how they look from this point to date. Then I'm gonna be making 2 other videos tagging along with this topic on harvesting, and then the other video is gonna be about storing. So please stay tuned with us because this is going to be an amazing series to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video. So Ultimate Gardeners, starting off this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I started my beans. On November the 2nd, year 2021, all my beans were started in pea pellets, but some of them later on, about 1 or 2 weeks later, were direct sown if we had any gaps here and there. I started from bush beans to soybeans to fava beans. I love growing beans, but especially the Windstar fava bean I grew, especially requested from my mother because she loves fava beans, especially when she was a kid. And so she requested it, and so I did that for her. I love growing beans here in South Florida because they're so adaptable to our clay soil, as well as the 2 factors, our main factors here in South Florida, is we have high levels of humidity and high levels of heat. And these 2 key points are great for starting your beans from seed because their germination rate is 2 times faster. So within a day or 3, I saw germination already happening with my bush beans as well as my fava beans. Nothing from my soybeans just yet. I absolutely love growing bush beans. Bush beans are my personal favorite variety or breed of bean that I absolutely love growing because they're low maintenance, easy to take care of, disease resistant, and they can give you beans within days. So all of these beans went in the ground after a week once I saw some germination happening, and so they've been put in the ground ready to grow. But I did not notice a mistake I did was I planted them out way too early. So this caused a lot of the beans to not germinate up from the ground, and only about 4 to 5 bean plants from each variety only came up. Unfortunately for the soybean, only 1 plant came up. So I had to go ahead and get my hands in the dirt again and direct sow all the beans again because I wanted to get a huge bean harvest, and that was one of my huge determinations this winter season. So I went there and I planted by hand all my bush beans by hand. Wherever I saw a gap, I went ahead and planted a bush bean in there. Same thing went with the soybeans and same thing with the fava beans, but the fava beans is a different story. Those were put in the ground way later on because I want these fava beans to grow. In front of where I have my cucumbers placed, I decided to plant something that is short to grow and that are easy to take care of. And so first thing that came up to my mind was bush beans. So I decked out that area with bush beans, and to this day they're looking amazing, as well as the other beans I direct sowed. So now we're gonna talk about what I did to care for them. It is so minimal. So not talking about what I did to take care for them, bush beans are one of the most easiest vegetables to take care of because they are disease resistant, they're adaptable to all soil types, and they require minimum fertilizing. So my bush beans were put in a location where they get about partial sun, but they do get their 6+ hours in the morning all the way until when the sun is setting. I also let the sprinkler waters water my bush beans as well as the regular rainwater because if I water by hand, it was going to be too tiring, and bush beans don't require a lot of care. You could kill a plant for overcare, and that has happened to me before. So you want to let these bush beans grow and let them do their own thing and just let them flourish on their own way. Fertilizing is 1 time every 5 to 6 months, very minimal because they are super easy to take care of. but I do recommend amending your soil with worm castings or worm tea when planting your bush bean seeds because it can give them a boost of energy before germinating. Now let's talk about how these bush beans look today. To this day, these bush beans look outstanding. They are performing, they're giving new growth, and not to mention they're even already starting to bloom, which is crazy. And so bush bean flowers are so delicate and gorgeous. It's just so pretty. It looks like a Christmas tree, but in a little tiny plant. And so bush beans are super easy to take care of, low maintenance, and they come in a huge wide range of varieties. There was a audience member that commented on one of my posts that I did recently about my bush beans that asked that he was a beginner gardener just getting into gardening. He hasn't planted anything yet, but he wanted some recommendations on beans he should grow. And the first thing I told him was bush beans because they're very easy to grow, especially for beginner gardeners. So if you're a beginner gardener watching this video, grow bush beans. Those are something I recommend for you guys to grow because you'll get beans in an instant and you don't have to be so worried about taking care of them. So let me go ahead and wrap this video up. So ultimate gardeners, that's going to be it for this exciting sprouting video. Once again, in this video, I cover the entire details you had to learn about the beans I grew. I love growing beans, now forever grow them, and especially the variety early contender bush beans. This made it to be the top best bush bean I grew this year. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and never forget to grow big, ultimate gardeners. Bye guys.